when we check things off, we feel good about it, you know? The days that I was just going through the cycle of just drinking and fuck off and kind of working, but bullshit, I felt like shit. And I would just drink more to feel better. I finally made it a full week without drinking. Furthest record for me in, I don't know, year and a half-ish, I guess. Normally drinking 6 to 8 IPAs every night. Let's be honest. Sometimes 9 or 10. It just depends on the day or whatever. But I finally did it. We are now 7 nights in, 8 days. I always forget how that works. But yeah, I guess I'm 8 days sober at this point. But 7 nights. Full week. Good stuff. So this will be a pretty quick, easy video. I just want to go over a few things that my mind has opened up to since I started this whole non-drinking thing, and the clarity that I've gotten. Obviously, if you've never quit drinking before, you may not know this, but if you have quit drinking at any time for any length of period, you know that you get clearer, your mind starts working better, etc. But once you're in that cloud, once you start tapping back into the cloud of the drinking and whatever, you lose sight and you forget of how clear you've been before when you were sober. It's like, this fucking it's like a thing you put over your face. I guess blinders would be the best way to say that. Some kind of blinders, so not over your face. I don't know. Like blind to the reality that, when you are sober, you do think a fuck ton more clearly. So it took me, a couple days to get into the groove of not drinking, but now I don't even want it anymore. And everybody's different, you know what I mean? Like I'm a beer drinker, like I said, IPAs. I don't drink a fuck ton of liquor. I've heard that when you are a liquor drinker and you're coming off the stuff that it's tougher. Like if you're someone who drinks like a fuck ton of liquor, like a handle every day or whatever it is. I've just heard it's tougher for people like that, going through withdrawals and stuff like that. But for me, I've been drinking IPAs every night, pretty much every fucking night for like close to 2 years. And a lot of drinking before that too. But the real problem, I guess, came in, around the beginning of pandemic life, etc. Losing the people I lost, my dog, etc. All that. So for the last year and a half or so, it's been a lot of fucking beer. So without further ado, once you lock in the passion and desire to succeed, you begin to realize that your happiness is based on handling individual, momentary decisions. 3, 4, 5 o'clock, whatever random day happens, and I get that urge, that little, be good right now, a little bit of beer would be really, really, really good. No, you sit the fuck down. That's me talking to my other personality. We all have split personalities. In case you didn't know that, get used to it. I think like the government made us think that split personality is bad. But yeah, we all have split personalities. Maybe, there's crazy people that are fucking nuts, and that's not good. But I'm just saying, like, we all have different voices in our head. It's and sometimes we have to talk to them and be like, hey man, you know what? You're gonna sit this round out for a little while, all right? You're gonna just chill. For me, the momentary decision, that I'm in reference to, like why I wrote this note down was because, like when it gets to be that 4, 5, 6 p.m. Well, let's be honest, it's closer to 4 most days. And sometimes a little bit before. I'm just going to be real. Sometimes a little bit before that. Never like before like noon. Okay? No. Well, unless I was on vacation. Which, it is what it is. But, I had that momentary thought where it's like, all right, well, a little bit of beer would be good right now, Phil. It's just a little bit, But really, I told myself, let's think about this for a moment. Let's pause. Let's take a breath, right? And I was like, all right, so one option, we go get that beer. We drink it. We have some fun. Cut up with my friends or on the phone or whatever. Maybe go out, see the water and have a little buzz going and it's fun and blah, blah, blah. So that's one option. Or the other option is continue to stack these days of sobriety, continue to get more clear, and thus have a more fulfilled life. So when you put it simply like that, instead of just giving right into the temptation, but yeah, fuck it, let's go get beer. I'm like, all right, well, let's think about it. Well, you know what? Fuck yeah, I do want to keep stacking these days. I do want to become more clear. I do want to progress. Which leads me to another note that I wrote down that I wanted to go over, which is basically centered around purpose, right? And so real quick before I read this note, and maybe I'm summing the note up in simple. I don't know. I'm not a professional fucking YouTube guy or whatever. But the note is that, or the thought is that, that's helped me actually tackle this vice. And I know it's only a week in, 8 days in, but I really feel like I'm tackling it. The big difference now is that I finally know what my purpose is. I finally have accepted what my purpose is. And it's kind of a large purpose, I guess. And maybe in the past I've been covering myself up with the vices and the drinking and all that stuff to just like, no, you're not good enough for that, Phil. You're not good enough for that. Like self-talk. And even though it's not audible, like it's like those are the energy, that's the energy that I was feeling and going through day after day. It's like somewhere in the background I had this thought, like, yeah, man, you can do that. But it was like it kept being suppressed. And the more I drank and the more consistent I drank, it just sat in the background. Occasionally I would talk about it in a fleeting discussion or like, yeah, probably one day maybe end up doing it, you know. But now it's like, no, dude, I fucking feel it, you know. And I can't tell you what's finally brought me there, aside from just continuously, like over the past year and a half, even though I have been fucking off, I've been looking into self-help stuff. I've been reading about the stuff. I've been listening to podcasts about it. I'm stuffing my mind with all that shit, right? It's just taking me a long time to fucking finally get it, you know? But for me, it's realizing that my whole purpose on this planet is to help others grow, right? And it doesn't have to be on some grandiose scale. It doesn't have to be massive audience and go sell out seminars and shit. And granted, you know, if that happens down the line, cool, I'll embrace it, and I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. But even if I just have the 600 subscribers or whatever I have right now, and maybe, you know, a good percentage of them don't even see my shit, they just click subscribe once and that's it, whatever. But I think I averaged like, I don't know, 80 to 100 views, 100. So even if like 5 of those people, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever, even if those people, just that small percentage of people I touch and help in some way, that's awesome. That's what I need to do. That's my purpose in some way. Maybe it's, you know, I think it might even be like one-on-one coaching down the road, etc. But in order for me to reach that point, I can't help anybody if I can't help myself. But it's like, that's the one thing that I'm passionate about. And even in my job, that it transcends in my job, which I'm not going to go down that road too much. But in my job, I help people. You know, I come, I meet with them, I find out what their needs are, what their wants are, what their desires are, and I help them, you know? And when I'm done and then our project's installed, our lighting system's installed, they're happy. And what they needed, what they wanted, what they dreamed of, I'm fulfilling that, you know? So I do get that in my work, but I think that for me as just the full deal is like help people handle their vices and get past their vices. So that's my passion and purpose. And now that I have that passion and purpose locked into my head, it's as if like, and I'm getting the tinglies right now. I think God's talking to me. I don't know. But now that I have that locked in my head, it's like, dude, you have to do this. You know what I mean? Like there's no choice. And so the first, 3, 4, 5 days, well, 3 or 4 days, I guess, that was a super big part about me, like, shooting this shit down, like, no, you're not going to drink. You're not going to drink. You have a bigger purpose to fulfill, you know? And it's great because when I do that, I feel better, right? So the note that I wrote down here is building a better version of yourself is far easier to accomplish when you have a purpose that's driven by passion, right? So, and that's true. Like I said before, I hadn't sold myself. I didn't believe in myself. You know, and I've been working on that, and it's helping tremendously. But I didn't believe in myself that I could be a coach, that I could be someone that helps people, and that's how I make my money in the future. I just didn't believe it, you know, because I didn't believe in myself. But now that I've been working on that slowly but surely, it's not fucking overnight, slowly but surely, and finally it clicked, and I'm like, yes, Phil, that is what you're going to do. You know what I mean? And I started that with, I've got like this thing on my wall here, which I'm not going to pan to, but it says, I am valued, I am loved, I am blessed, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am strong, and I'm on the right path, right? And I say those things to myself, and I look at myself in the mirror, and I give myself a high five. Hey, man, you're going to rock today. You know, people love you, people like you. I'm building myself up, and it's fucking helped. And so I've finally gotten to the point where it's like, yes, that is what I'm going to do. It's clear as day. Now that I'm more clear, now that I'm a little more sober, it's clear as day that that's what I'm going to do. And I'm not saying that that's for everybody, but we have to find a passion that does serve people in some way. And it could be starting your own business that obviously fulfills a need that needs to be met, that's for the betterment of, your fellow neighbor, and you're passionate about, whatever it is. But there has to be a purpose that's driven by passion. Otherwise, I feel like we just keep going through the cycles like I've been. Going through the cycles of, I quit drinking for 20 days or 30 days or 40 days, or I quit drinking for 4 days or 7 days or 14 days or 30 days. But then I end up going back to the same fucking thing over and over and over because I'm not lit up. I'm not thrilled about the future. I'm not excited. I'm not motivated about the future. I just didn't believe. I didn't believe in myself. So anyhow, that's the big thing that I've been working on a fuck ton, is believing in myself. And that's my passion. That's my purpose. And that's what's driving me to continue. And as you follow that, and you go through your path, the more days you stack, the clearer you get, the more you see the benefits, the less you want the beer, the less you want the shit. And again, if it's liquor, I don't know. That's a whole other world. And I know for a lot of people it's the same, but some people it's different. But for me, this is where we're at. So what was the other note here? Yes, this other note is kind of tying into that, right? The more productive, disciplined, and organized we are towards a passionate goal, the better we feel, right? Tony Robbins said that, whether you like him or not. Dude's fucking smart. No shit. He said the key to happiness is progress. And it's such a small word, but it can mean so much. Progress in my sobriety journey. Progress in cleaning my apartment. Progress in doing laundry, but whatever the fuck it is. Progress in a project, my job, whatever. When we check things off, we feel good about it, The days that I was just going through the cycle of just drinking and fuck off and kind of working, but bullshit, I felt like shit. And I would just drink more to feel better. And smoke a little bit of weed. Let's be honest. Ugh, I know. I'm working on it and stuff. So I guess we should talk about that, right? And then I'm going to wrap this up. When drinking, smoking, I was so unfulfilled, which led to stress, worry, anxiety, etc. Yeah, so I think there was a couple other ones there. Last note that I wrote here. Waiting for outside circumstances before changing is never going to work. That was the note didn't finish. I'm just saying that's waiting for outside circumstances, which is what I was doing. I was waiting for my outside circumstances to be good. Once all this is good, and then I'll begin my journey. No, the reality is that our outside world is a direct reflection of our inside world. Whether you believe in, spirituality or religion or what the fuck ever, it's science, right? How we feel about ourselves when we're by ourselves, in the words of the great Tom Bilyeu from Impact Theory, is fucking important. It's so important. I'm finally starting to realize that. So, anyhow, now that we're towards the end of this, I'll wrap up by saying, there has been some weed smoking too, let's be honest, going on in this. And for the first couple days of not drinking, I did use some weed to help me, curb that a little bit. Now, my longtime listeners, I've quit weed before. That's the next thing on the docket. And it also ties into the whole, everything else that I've been talking about. But I will say, though, in this experiment of quitting drinking, but still using weed a little bit to fucking transition away from that, I'm still getting crazy clear and just everything is way better. But I also know that as I get off the weed too, it's going to be great. I know it's going to be great. I feel it. I finally fucking feel it. And I'm really passionate about it. So, there's been times in the past, I remember the Sober September that I did, I think that was 2019, I did that, and I went 11 days or something, or 12 days, I was like, I'm feeling great, and then something hit me and I was fucking back on the road. It's because I didn't have my purpose and passion aligned. I didn't have a reason to do it, in my heart, I guess. So that's where we are. That's all I got for today. I'm pretty pumped about it. Like I said on the last video, I am doing TikTok videos now. And I'm going to do a daily update of where, how I'm feeling. They're 3-minute long videos or less every day, which I haven't done one today, but I will. Just, tracking the progress of this version of quitting. Also, I'm going to go past 14 days. I know I said 14 days the last time, but I'm going to go a full 30 days. That's my goal. Full 30 days. And I have a friend coming into town. And he's staying at the Hard Rock Casino in Tampa. And I'm going to go hang out with him and have a couple beverages in celebration. Maybe a nice steak dinner. I don't know. We'll see. What do you think, Joey? You watching this, Joey? Anyhow, that's all for today. I really appreciate and have love for each and every one of you that comment and engage with me. I have love for everyone, but the ones that really comment and engage, it's always great seeing your words. And sometimes they're great words of encouragement, and it's amazing. I feel more loved when I see those words, which is great. And we're all loved, and we should all know that we're loved, right? So that's good. And on that note, I love you, one love, and I'll see you guys later. I'll probably do another video here in the next couple days or some shit like that. So, peace out.
Just you white in me again. Just you white. You'll be sorry that you